Hi everybody, Norman Van Aken here with a treasure book from the treasure book series. This book, there's a backstory to this book. Check it out. What a handsome young man Chef Daniel Boulud was and still is, less young like most of us. This book was coming out, just getting done by by Danielle, of course, but also by editor Jason Epstein, who was the lion of Random House books. I met him when I fed him at his party when they came to dine at Amano on South Beach, which must have been 1991 or 2. And simultaneously, Jason was editor for Daniel Boulud. And it was Jason that said, we must do a book with you, Norman. And we were kind of like around the same time doing our books when this book came out. My third book, it was after Danielle's book, and Danielle graciously invited me to come and do the press party, coming out party for my book at his restaurant, Danielle, which was, I mean, that was like winning the lottery because he was and remains at the top of the New York dining scene. And he signed this book for me here in March of 1994. I think the gods are bowling up to heaven right now if you hear that sound. And I think that was a stamp that they put from the restaurant, and then you can read what he wrote here, and if you'd like to take a screenshot, please do. I didn't realize it. Love this old picture of the family, which Danielle grew up in Lyon, and they had a modest inn, and this is the family playing cards, it looks like, around the lunch table. The photography, and this is beautiful. Todd France, great name for a photographer, doing a book on a French chef. Introduction by Pierre Freny, that's great. This is a first edition, and something I didn't realize until today was that when I looked to see if it was a first edition, I saw that it was designed by Georgiana Goodwin. And I went, wow, that sounds familiar. And then I went and looked in my book and realized at that time that Miss Goodwin also designed this big, handsome book that Random House did with us. It's hard to imagine the world not knowing Danielle so well back then, because he's become such a superhero in the meantime. And I was noticing this, where is it? This quote. Oh, Brian Miller, writing for the New York Times, wrote, an astonishingly versatile young chef, 4-star rating. And this is true. He is versatile. And and I was so lucky to get to know him. I don't think there's another chef with as much boyish joy that Danielle can bring out, moving from super high-end soigné food to end up later on, after the dinner's all over and we're out in the town with Charlie and Emerald and others, and you see him like on some kind of like bucking bronco machine and whooping it up and having a heck of a good time. Yeah. As I often find, here is a memory in this particular book from a lunch that we went to. I imagine Janet and I went to with others, but this was from May 28th of 1997. Take a look at the lunch. Danielle is such a powerhouse in the kitchen, and I think the strength of it comes from this great grounding, this great training, and plus his innate skills as a chef, he can pull off the rootsy cooking, the gutsy cooking equally, with equal aplomb, equal ability as he can the most refined kinds of things. Dining at his restaurant was an education and a joyride all rolled into one. We did some event in Miami that he came to cook with me. Chefs Across America was the name of the event, and it was to help due to the flooding that happened one summer in the Midwest, organized by Mickey Baxt. Also on hand at the restaurant, and the night before that at a party were Michael Romano of Union Square Cafe and Tom Colicchio, who was still then at Gramercy Tavern. And we all went to this Argentine steakhouse together and just had the greatest time dining in that style. Okay, now we have another memory piece here. This one's from Random House. Oh, I wish I had his voice. This is Jason Epstein writing. Dated September 3rd, 1993. Dear Norman, it is a pleasure. It is a pleasure to send you an advanced proof of cooking with Daniel Boulud. The final book will, of course, be lavishly illustrated. So not this book. It was a much more simple one. But I thought you'd like to have a look at it, the recipes in this form. Yours, Jason. Yeah. So some people might put these kind of things in, I don't know, a filing cabinet. But for me, I like having them in the pages of the books because they're so unexpected there. Not until I sort of get ready to do the treasure book series do I even look through the books and see what might be lying in wait. This is a fantastic book. Even though it's been out for years, it still is relevant as ever because classic doesn't go out. Ask Audrey Hepburn, ask Cary Grant. Maybe you'll find it on an online site for a bargain. Lobster ravioli on spinach leaves and ginger broth. Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind having that for dinner tonight. All right, everyone. Pleasure spending time with you again. And in a way, spending time with Danielle. I hope to see you soon at another treasure book series event, or who knows, maybe just rambling around the universe with me. Take care. I'll talk to you again.